I'm gonna make a dress with a fitted bed sheet for a twin size bed and a very vague plan.
I see you hide yourself underneath the mountain of makeup. Plus the words that you made up won't make you any cooler than you are. But when you're with me and you're half asleep, and I can count each freckle and see all your beauty that you hide. This ain't usually how you're like. Then you said, don't you be afraid of when your life's gonna end. You should be more worried it'll never begin. So I'll ask, how is life and how
I need to run an errand because the top is done and I need more thread and I need a zipper that I don't have. I have my morning worship music playing. So far I have the top, which has these crisscross straps in the back, and it looks a little bit funny, like it looks a little bit too big right now, but this, I finished the edges on the back. I'll show you all the panels. So we have the pleats in the front, which will be more like this once I sew the little like waistband on. We have the pleats at the front, and then we have the side panel, which comes all the way around. And then I finished off this edge with some extra fabric to kind of lengthen it, but also to make sure that there are no raw edges, because the raw edges have been fraying, which you can kind of see there. And then I have the straps, which crisscross in the back. It's coming along really nicely. I have the fabric ready for the skirt. I have the fabric ready to make the waistband. I just need to go get a zipper and some more white thread. I used blue thread for all the inner bits, but for the outer bits I want to use white thread so that it's like a nice finish.
how is life in Hollywood if all your dreams came true? And how come every time we talk you act like you're too cool? The city of angels has you entangled in a chimera of a dream. How is life in Hollywood for you?
It's beautiful. I'm in love. I'm just so proud of myself and so impressed with myself and just so grateful to the Lord for creativity and for a brain that understands sewing things. A while ago, I think I showed you this at the beginning of the video, but I don't actually remember. That was 2 nights ago, and I'm kind of like fighting a cold, so my brain is like not really working so much. But this is my original design. I wanted like the pleated cups. I thought that would be really pretty. I wanted some sort of like structured bit in the middle, and then I wanted a full skirt. I'm still considering adding a slit to the skirt because I think that that would be really pretty, but I am in love with it. I bought those sheets at a thrift store for $8, and I got the fitted sheet and the top sheet, and I thought that I was gonna have to use both of them, but I made that with just the fitted sheet, and I'm gonna use the top sheet to make pajamas with the like Scandinavian shorts. But I had made this plan of like some pieces of clothing because one of my goals this year was to make 12 pieces of clothing from scratch for myself to wear, and that is my second piece of clothing this year, and it's just now February. I just really love this. I love sewing. What I had noticed though while I was filming this is it's actually really difficult for me to take what I'm doing up here and like verbalize what I'm doing. So originally when I started this video, I was thinking, oh, I'll do it and I'll talk about what I did so that I could share what I did and somebody else can make it, or I can make it again watching the video back. And I wasn't super good about doing that. So now I'm going to talk you through what I did and hope that if your brain works the same as my brain, that it'll just make sense to you. I can't be the only one that thinks like this, you know? So the first thing that I did, let me open up the zipper here. And there are still some like issues with it. Like there's still some things that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do that next time, or I won't do that the same way again, like that kind of thing. But the first thing that I did was pleat the cups. So you can see that I have cups that I took out of a sports bra, and this is something that I would do differently next time. Is I don't like padded anything, like I never wear padded bras or anything, so I don't know why I thought that I need padding in this dress. I think next time I would just leave the padding out altogether. But the first thing that I did was I darted this and I attached it to the cup for the lining. Then I pleated the two front pieces and I sewed two basically like basting stitches to hold the pleats together while I finished it. I did one up here and one down here. Then I attached them together at the top, and you can see that the front piece, even though it looks like one full front panel, it's actually two separate pieces. It is a few days later when I'm editing this, and I realized I did not do a good job of explaining how I did the crisscross straps. So I'm gonna do that right now. Basically, when I was putting the straps together, let's say this is the right side of my front piece and this is the right side of my lining. So you'd put those together to sew a seam. This represents my strap. I'm gonna put the strap in between like that to sew across the top, so that when I flip it around, I have right sides with the strap and no raw edges on the top. So that's what I did when doing the front pieces. I attached the strap, so the center of the strap is 2 inches from the center of the cup on the front and 4 inches from the center, the opening in the back, on the back. So what I did to attach the two sides together at the crisscross is I did the front 2 panels first and then attached the panels to each other so that this top was open and this top was open, this whole back section. And then I flipped it to where it was right sides together. So I crisscrossed which ones I was doing. So if I'm doing the front left panel, I'm doing the back right panel. And I had this right side attached to this right side and this on top of the strap. Am I making sense? I don't think so. And I kept the side back open, which was the last seam that I closed, was the middle of the back here. So basically, I was flipping the fabric over and over again to get the crisscrosses. Now, I don't know if me explaining it like this is better or worse than not explaining it at all, but that's what I did, and I realized I didn't say anything about that while I was doing it. Also, when I gathered the top here, I don't know if I said it, I haven't finished editing yet, but I did a basting stitch. I took my thread to the greatest length it could go, which on my machine is 5, and I just sewed along the top about like 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and then I pulled on one side of the thread to gather the material. That's what I did. So I pleated the front and then I attached it together at the top and at the side, at both sides, and then I flipped it inside out, and then I just basted the bottom to keep it all together. I added lining to the entire top because I wanted it to feel secure, I wanted it to have a little bit more structure, and I wanted to make sure that I had no raw edges or rough edges showing. So I sewed the side panel pieces at the top and both sides and flipped it inside out as well. And then I finished the edge of the side, which is actually on the inside right here, by rolling it and doing like a 1-inch hem on the inside. Then I had my top piece pretty much done. The next thing I did was the middle chunk here, the middle piece. And this was my way of finishing the top and like securing the cups in place and finishing the dress. So what I did is right sides together, I sewed the top to the waistband. Top piece, I did fabric piece, right side up, top cups and all, right sides together, and then I did the lining right sides together. So you can see that the middle piece has a lining as well. Then the next thing that I did, once my top was like completely done, is I measured out my skirt and I gathered the top of my skirt and made sure that the gathers were even, and then I sewed the top to the skirt. Then I added the zipper. Probably not helpful, I'm probably not explaining anything correctly. I added the zipper, which is just like a white, it's a visible zipper, which I struggle with zippers, so there's like a couple of parts of it that are like not where they should be, but anyways. And then I hemmed the bottom with a rolled hem, and I wanted all the edges to be finished, so I overstitched, you can see there in the blue, the sides, and then I rolled the hem twice. So there's actually 2 seams. There's one seam on the edge there, and then there's one seam down there to make sure that it was not gonna come apart. That's how I did it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in my next one. Let me know if you want me to try to be more detailed, to make a really long video explaining exactly what I do with my next project. I have a couple more things I want to do. I have 2 dresses I want to make. I want to try and redo this shirt that I did over Christmas time. I want to do these shorts. I want to do like a long sleeve button up for the pajamas. We have a lot to do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.